ever heard those stories, right? Where someone makes a fortune so fast, it's almost, I don't know, kind of mind-blowing. Like they've cracked some secret code in the money game.
Yeah, those stories that make you wonder if they stumbled onto a glitch in the Matrix or something, right?
Exactly. And that's what we're diving into today. This whole idea of seriously rapid wealth building. We've got this super interesting framework, all based on one person's experience of going from like zero to financial rock star in their 20s.
Oh, I'm intrigued already. What's the secret sauce? Some kind of magic formula.
Well, the core idea here is that it's not some lucky break. It's about understanding and really mastering these three fundamental principles.
Three principles, huh? All right, lay it on me. I'm all ears.
So our mission today in this deep dive is to break down those three principles, pull out the insights that, could actually make a difference.
Sounds like a plan. Let's get cracking.
All right. Principle number one, understanding value creation. And this is huge. Actually pricing and selling based on that real, genuine value.
Okay, I'm with you so far. Value creation, that's business 101, right?
Right. But here's the thing. The material we're digging into, it suggests that a ton of businesses, maybe even some, they're totally underselling themselves. Like they're leaving money on the table.
Underselling, huh? How so?
The big reason, and it's kind of surprising, they set prices based on what it costs them to deliver the goods, or even what they personally would pay.
Oh, wow. So they're pricing from their own wallets, not from the value they deliver. That's not exactly a recipe for maximizing profits, is it?
Exactly. It's like this totally inward-looking way to think about pricing, and it can really limit their potential.
Yeah, it makes sense. If you're basing your prices solely on your expenses, you're putting a ceiling on how much you can earn.
Right. And you're completely missing the bigger picture, the real impact you're having on your customers' lives or businesses.
I see what you mean. So how do you break out of that mindset?
Well, there's this great example in the material about a $42,000 annual licensing fee for a gym model. 42 grand. It's a lot, right?
Yeah, that's a hefty price tag. Most people would balk at that.
For sure. And even the author's father, who seems like a pretty down-to-earth guy, he was like, whoa, hold on.
So how did they justify a price that high?
It wasn't about the costs. It was all about the return on investment, the ROI, for the gym owner who bought the license.
Ah, okay. So they weren't selling the cost, they were selling the transformation.
Exactly. It's a total mind shift from what does it cost me to what does this do for them?
Makes sense. If a gym owner pays $42,000 and then because of that investment, they see their profits jump way higher, suddenly that initial cost doesn't seem so big anymore.
Totally. And the example, they were seeing an average 5-to-1 ROI. So for every dollar invested, the gym owners were making $5 back.
5-to-1, that's huge.
Right. And they achieved that through like 10 hours a week of actually implementing the system over the course of a year.
So not a ton of extra work, but a significant return.
Exactly. And the point is, any smart business owner, they're going to jump on that kind of deal.
Yep.
Doesn't matter the price. They see that $1 reliably turns into $5, they're in.
Okay, so it's about shifting the focus to the value the customer receives.
Right. And that brings us to, this is cool, the value equation.
The value equation. Sounds intriguing. What's that all about?
So it's a way to kind of quantify this whole value idea, put a formula to it. It says value equals, and stay with me here, the dream outcome times the perceived likelihood of achievement.
Okay. Dream outcome times perceived likelihood of achievement.
And all of that is divided by the time delay times the effort and sacrifice.
All right, so value equals dream outcome times perceived likelihood of achievement divided by time delay times effort and sacrifice. Got it. Now, break that down for me a bit. What exactly do each of those pieces mean?
Yeah, of course. So first up, the dream outcome. This is like the ultimate goal the customer wants, what they're really after.
Okay, like what? Give me some examples.
Sure. So for a business, it could be higher revenue, right? For an individual, maybe it's losing weight or fixing a relationship or getting that promotion, whatever they really desire. It's that core transformation.
Makes sense. So it's about understanding the customer's deepest desires, the things that really motivate them.
Exactly. Then you've got the perceived likelihood of achievement. This is super interesting because it's not just about how good your product or service is objectively.
So it's not about how well it actually works.
Right. It's about how confident the customer feels that they will get the results, that they'll achieve that dream outcome.
Ah, okay, so it's about their belief in the solution and in their own ability to succeed.
Exactly. And this is where things like strong guarantees come in, or testimonials, case studies, proof that it works.
So it's about minimizing their perceived risk, making them feel confident that they'll get the desired outcome.
Exactly. Then we've got time delay, which is, pretty straightforward.
Hmm.
The faster someone gets the result they want after they buy from you, the more valuable your offer is.
Makes sense. We live in a world of instant gratification. People want results, and they want them now.
For sure. And finally, there's effort and sacrifice. This basically means how much work does the customer have to put in to get that dream outcome? How much hassle is involved?
So the easier and more seamless the process, the better.
Yeah, people want things to be as simple and painless as possible.
Okay, so let me see if I've got this straight. You want to maximize the dream outcome, make it really compelling, and you want to boost the customer's confidence that they'll achieve that outcome.
Yeah, that's it.
And then at the same time, you want to minimize the time it takes to get those results and the effort they have to put in.
You got it.
So essentially, you make it super desirable and super easy. No wonder they could charge 10 times their competitors.
Right. It's a really powerful way to think about value and how to command premium prices.
It also shows how a deep understanding of customer psychology can be so impactful.
Absolutely. So for you as the learner, this whole principle, it gives you a different way to look at any offer, any business, and see where the real value is. It's not just about the features, it's about the transformation and how smooth the journey is to get there.
It's a really valuable lens to view things through.
All right, we've tackled value. Now let's move on to the second big idea, engineering a fast cash conversion cycle. This is sometimes called client-financed acquisition.
Client-financed acquisition. Okay, that piques my curiosity. What's that all about?
It's about setting up your business so you get paid super fast, so fast, that the money coming in covers not just the cost of serving that new customer, but also the cost of getting your next customer.
Oh, wow. So you're essentially creating a self-funding growth loop.
You got it. The goal is to get enough cash within the first 30 days of acquiring a customer to cover both the CAC, that's customer acquisition cost, and the COGS, cost of goods sold, for that customer.
All right, CAC and COGS. Got it.
But not just that. Also enough to cover the CAC for the next customer.
So you're aiming to have each new customer effectively fund the acquisition of the next one. That's pretty ambitious.
It is, but it's incredibly powerful when you can pull it off. There's a formula for this. 2 times CAC plus COGS, and that should equal the gross profit you collect in those first 30 days.
Okay, so you're basically doubling down on the initial cost to make sure you're not just breaking even, but also fueling future growth.
Exactly. And that 30-day window, it's not random, it's strategic.
How so?
Think about credit cards, right? Most people pay their bills within that time frame. So if you can get your cash that quickly, you can operate on like an interest-free float if you need to.
Ah, I see. It gives you a lot more flexibility and minimizes your reliance on external financing.
Right. And when you consistently hit this target, you've built what they call a money machine.
A money machine. That sounds like every entrepreneur's dream.
It's this self-perpetuating cycle. Each new customer pays for themselves and helps bring in the next one.
So it's like a snowball effect, constantly gaining momentum.
There's this amazing example in the material, about 100-to-1 return on ad spend. For every dollar spent on ads, they got back $100 in revenue.
100 to 1, that's incredible. Talk about a high-performance engine.
And with that kind of return, you can reinvest so aggressively, scale things up crazy fast. Like in the book, they talk about going from $1,000 to $10 million in sales in less than a year.
Wow. That's the power of an efficient cash conversion cycle in action.
And the coolest part is, it's not just some theoretical idea. The author used this to open, get this, 6 United Fitness locations with almost no money out of pocket.
Wait, so they essentially used customer prepayments to fund the expansion?
Exactly. They got cash upfront from new memberships and used that to fuel the growth of new locations.
So that's incredibly savvy. So how can someone actually put this into practice? What are some of the tactics for building this rapid cash conversion cycle?
Well, one key strategy is making multiple offers. So basically presenting relevant additional items or services to a customer right after their initial purchase while they're still in that buying mood.
Ah, okay. I see. Capitalizing on the momentum they've already built up.
Exactly. Think about it. Someone just made a commitment. They overcame their initial hesitation. They're already invested in solving a problem. So if you offer them related things that help them get their desired outcome even faster or better, You're not just boosting your revenue right then, you're actually giving them more value.
So it's a win-win. The customer gets more of what they need, and the business accelerates its cash flow.
The example they give is like someone buys running shoes, right?
Yeah.
And then boom, right after, they're offered high-quality socks, maybe some performance shorts, a hydration pack, all the things a serious runner would use.
So it's about anticipating the customer's needs and offering them a complete solution right then and there.
Exactly. Makes it super convenient for the customer, and it helps you hit that fast cash conversion target.
And the material also advises being bold and making offers that address those subsequent needs or problems that the initial purchase might create, right?
Yeah, it's about being one step ahead, understanding the customer journey and offering solutions all along the way.
So it's not just about selling more stuff, it's about providing real value and building deeper relationships with your customers.
For sure. And for you, as the learner, this principle shows how important efficiency and smart financial planning are. Think about how you use your own resources, your time, your energy. Are you structuring your efforts to get those quick wins, those tangible results that then can fuel even more progress?
It's about creating that positive feedback loop, building momentum.
All right, ready for principle number 3?
Absolutely. Hit me with it.
This one is about mastering wealth alchemy and leveraging tax strategy, and it's all about building what's called enterprise value.
Wealth alchemy. Okay, now I'm really curious. Sounds almost mystical.
Right. It is kind of like that.
Sure.
This principle, it goes beyond just maximizing your profit each year.
So it's not just about making as much money as you can right now.
Right. It's about building real lasting wealth through increasing the value of your business as an asset. And they call this enterprise value.
Enterprise value. So it's about making your business itself more valuable.
Exactly. And often that value is determined by applying a multiplier to your revenue, especially recurring revenue if you have a subscription business, or to your profit.
Okay, so the multiplier, that's where the magic happens.
Yeah. The example they give is a software company, right? A SaaS company where a customer pays, say, $1,200 per year. So that's $100 a month.
All right, $1,200 a year in recurring revenue.
Now, let's say similar software companies are getting bought and sold at a 10x multiple of their annual revenue. That's common for these SaaS companies.
A 10x multiple. So that means
That means each permanent customer you get, they're adding $12,000 to the total value of your company.
wow, that's a pretty significant impact from just one customer.
And here's where the wealth alchemy and the tax strategy come in.
Okay, I'm all ears.
That $12,000 increase in enterprise value, it's not taxed as income right away. It's only taxed when you actually sell the business. And even then, it's usually taxed at the capital gains rate, which is often lower than the regular income tax rate.
Ah, I see. So you're delaying and potentially reducing the tax burden on a large chunk of your wealth creation.
Exactly. It's a huge advantage. Now, contrast that with the $1,200 you're getting every year from that customer. That's taxed as regular income, right?
Right. So you're paying taxes on the annual revenue, but not on the increase in the overall value of your business until much later.
Exactly. So, in a way, you're spending money to acquire customers who generate taxable income, but at the same time, they're also contributing to this much bigger and largely tax-sheltered pot of wealth that is your company.
That's a really interesting way to think about it.
To really make it clear, let's say it costs you $900 to acquire a long-term customer, and that customer gives you $1,200 a year in revenue. You might think, okay, cool, $300 profit, and after taxes, maybe I keep $150.
A decent return, but nothing earth-shattering.
Right, but you also got to think about that same customer adding $12,000 to your company's value.
Which is largely tax-free for now.
Exactly. So you basically invested $900 to create a future asset potentially worth $12,000 with some nice tax benefits along the way.
That reframes the whole equation. It's not just about immediate profit. It's about building long-term value.
And the author, he talks about how he realized that spending all his time trying to minimize taxes on his current cash flow wasn't nearly as powerful as focusing on growing that tax-advantaged enterprise value.
So it's a shift from short-term optimization to long-term strategic thinking.
Now, here's the thing. This whole strategy hinges on one crucial factor: customer retention.
Customer retention, keeping those customers coming back for more.
Right. They use this great analogy of a churn factory. It's like a business with a leaky bucket. Customers are always leaving. Even if they get the same number of new customers each year, they're always scrambling to replace the ones who churn out.
Yeah, that's not a sustainable way to build a valuable business.
And they contrast that with a business that's laser-focused on keeping their customers happy, engaged, coming back for more.
So a business that's built on loyalty and long-term relationships.
Exactly. And that kind of business, time becomes their greatest asset because they don't have to constantly chase new customers to stay afloat.
And as their existing customers continue to generate revenue and contribute to the enterprise value, the business grows organically and sustainably.
For you, the learner, this whole idea of enterprise value, it shows how important it is to think long-term and understand the different ways to build wealth, how taxes play into it all.
It's about creating a lasting legacy, not just chasing quick wins.
So there you have it, the three principles behind building wealth, like really fast. It's not about tricks or shortcuts. It's about understanding value, getting paid fast, and building that long-term tax-advantaged asset, your business.
It's a powerful combination of strategies that can lead to remarkable results.
And for you, the learner, think about how these ideas might apply beyond just business. Could understanding your value better impact your career? Could getting those quick wins in your finances create more opportunities? And how can you build those long-term assets, like your skills, your network, or your investments?
It's about applying these principles strategically to different areas of your life.
Which one of these principles, which one really speaks to you? And more importantly, why? That's something to ponder as you continue on your journey of learning and growth.
It's all about taking these insights and making them work for you.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive, and we'll catch you on the next one.
See you then.